Okay, that puss is out the bag. Okay, so my name is Sophia, but my name actually means wisdom. And so whenever I go anywhere, I just like for people to call me wisdom, because they say if you speak it into existence, you become that, right? So I'm really happy to be here today, because I'm going to share my story with you. And a part of my journey has a lot to do with my mentor, Brother Andrew Mohammed. He's been mentoring me now for about 15 years. But before we get into that, I'm just going to share with you my story and my journey. And also I have a poem that comes after. So growing up, I was always very fiery. So when I went to school, the teachers didn't really know how to deal with my behaviour or my attitude. And bless my parents, they didn't really know how to deal with it either. I come from a Jamaican household, so everything is quick to lick, slippers being flung at you, whatever the case be. And I guess my parents did their very best. Alongside the teachers, I can't blame them, but I had a lot of anger that was within inside me, and my poem that I will share later will let you know where that anger came from. But yeah, they couldn't handle my behaviour, and they tried their best to keep social services out of the household. But at the age of 15, unfortunately, then, I became pregnant, and I had my daughter in the final year of my studies. And so in year 11 was the most crucial time of my life. I was actually at home nurturing my little baby. But my parents were very adamant that I was going to go back to school, because education for them was always the key. And everybody literally turned against me. I had no friends that wanted to be around me. My family members, such as like my extended family, so my uncles and aunties, they stopped me from seeing anybody in the family, because they didn't want them looking at me and basically walking in my footsteps. And I totally understand that. But at the age of 15, I felt that was really dreadful. And my teachers, they weren't surprised that I got pregnant. And I think that really struck me as hard, because even though I knew that they struggled with my behaviour, deep down I wasn't that bad, wicked child that everybody thought. But yeah, the moment I looked at my daughter, I thought, oh, I need now to change my attitude and fix myself up. And so I finished school. I did struggle a lot to get to my exams, but I did it. I went back to school, and everybody basically said, you know what, because I went to a girls' school in Stratford, and they said a lot of them were bad mind, saying really horrible things about me. But when they saw me come back, a lot of them said, you know what, we really respect you, because not a lot of people would go, do such a thing, come back and feel no way. And I said, well, I think if I'm going to learn from my mistake, that's fine, as long as I learn from it. And now that she's here, she's not a mistake anymore. She's here for a reason, and I'm going to now make sure that she follows and that I lead her in the right path. So what I then did was I took a gap year, because I was determined to make some money for my child, and I didn't want anybody to say, you see, this is what happened, because I had the parents saying, well, nobody told you, obviously you brought sticking at your ears and you're not listening. And I didn't want them thinking that now the burden of my daughter was on them. So I took a gap year, and slowly but surely I got a job, and then I ended up moving in with my daughter's dad. And so from the outside looking in, I was that normal happy-go-lucky 16-year-old. But deep down, there was an awful, unpleasant secret that I was actually keeping. It actually started with a slap, because he said that women should do as they're told and not answer back, because I did answer him back. I was a bit fiery, as I said earlier. Then it went to pushes into the walls, him spitting in my face, and basically telling me that I was useless and that I was worthless. He basically said to me that nobody was ever going to want me because I was uneducated, I was stupid, I was dumb, I was ugly, and nobody was going to want me. Now, a lot of people would say, why would you put up with that? But to be honest, when somebody repeats something to you over and over and over, you tend to start believing it. And then I didn't want to end up that typical black girl, because he did say you're going to be one of the typical stereotypes. Black girl with no baby father and working in McDonald's. And I think a part of me felt that I had disappointed so many people, and that's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for the man to now leave me to show that, you see, this is what happened. You ain't got nothing, you are nothing. So I ended up just staying. But I also thought that after some time that maybe I could change him and he would see my worth and my value. And I had a child for him, and I thought that I loved him. But then it only just got from bad to worse. The beatings got worse. He would beat me for just speaking to any of his friends that came to the house. My part-time job, he was in charge of all the finances, so he'd use all my money. I had no use of my phone. He would take it away from me. He would go into my phone and check stuff. I remember one occasion he checked my phone, asked me who this person was, and because I didn't answer quick enough, he gave me one thump in my face and I went flying into the wall. He's thrown everything that you can think about at me, whether it was furniture, he's taken utensils and thrown at me, he broke my ribs, he broke my jaw. I didn't know who to speak to because I thought, who am I going to tell? And I was terrified to tell anyone because I was fearful of what he would do if he found out. And I was just scared. I was only 16, so you can imagine all the things running through my head at the time. All I know was that I needed to get out, but every time I tried to leave, he would hold on to my daughter. And I thought, I'm not leaving my child. And so that made me even more fearful. And I just decided, okay, I need to be submissive. However, sometimes I would try to fight back because I was a tomboy, but he would only hit me harder and he would only beckon me to go on, I dare you, hit me harder. And I thought, you know what's the point? I'm fighting a losing battle. I wasn't even half his size, right? And his one punch was like all of my might, just hitting him once. So I just stopped. And I think it got to the point where I just thought, you know what? I give up. I'm just going to have to die. But I thought, I'm not going to die without trying to leave this man. And so my mum was going away on holiday, and what she done was, she said, do you want me to take Jasmine? That's my daughter, she's 18 now. Would you like me to take Jasmine? I said, yes, Mum, please. Because I was always praying to the ancestors thinking, God, please, I just need her out of the picture. And whatever happens to me, I don't care. So my daughter went away for 3 months with my parents. During all this time, nobody knew that I was going through it because every day I was smiling, every day I was happy. Nobody knew anything. The bruises were covered with my clothes. But that went from bad to worse because I endured about 7 days of senseless beatings when I said I was leaving. He took the knife and he put it to my throat, and I thought, that's it. But I don't know where I got the courage from. One day, somewhere, somehow, I just went into a madness. I went into the kitchen, I took everything out of the cupboards, I just started flinging them at him. I was like, yeah, you're going to kill me today? Well, I'm not going out without a fight because I'm a rebellious person. And I remember him running out the house. This was in Hackney, running out the house. And once he ran out, I thought, that's right. This is my way out, because for 7 days, nobody knew where I was. He locked me in the place. Next door neighbour was blind. Nobody lived downstairs. We lived on the 4th floor. I can't jump through no window because I was contemplating. I don't care how I'm getting out. Whether I die doing it, I need to come out. And so, yeah, I managed to get out. I had no shoes on. I had shorts on, bruises running down me. I ran to Mare Street, and I think I jumped on a 73 bus. Because I remember where I was working, there was a lot of people that saw bruises on me, and I explained to them what was going on. And one particular young man that I worked with said, if at any point you need help, this is where I live, come straight to me. So I thought, okay, I remember that. But walking down Mare Street, and this is the thing with our people, they saw a 16-year-old girl, and at the time I looked like I was 12. In the street, I probably did look like I was on crack. Probably did. Bruises running down me, but nobody even stopped me to ask me if I was okay. The first bus, and I'm going to tell you this now, the first bus I tried to get on, it had a melanated black man, basically a melanated man. I don't really like to use the word black, but a melanated man, and he ran me off the bus. The second 73 that came, it was a Caucasian gentleman. And the man came out of where he was sat, took off his jacket, put it around me, and sat me down and said, wherever you need to go, I will take you. Just let me finish my shift in 5 minutes, and I will take you. And that's what he did. And I'll never forget this man, but he didn't want to give me his number. He just said, no, that's fine. Just look after yourself, and that was it. And that was in 2001, going to 2002. So after that, I went into hiding because I didn't know about services that could help me. So I didn't know about a sister space. I didn't know nothing about domestic violence. I was 16. I had no clue what was really going on. And I didn't want to go to the police. Because, you know, if you're in a black family, police, the last place you want to go. Right? So...
I don't know where I come from. I don't know where this goes. Where did I come from? I think I just wanted to give
No,
her a
no.
hug. No, Anthony. Give her a hug.
Alright, okay. And so I was in hiding. They didn't know of a sister space, nothing. And when I did go to the police, they said the only thing that I could do was take out an injunction. And when they explained that to me, I thought, oh, what nonsense is this? They said, unless I could prove or somebody saw him attack me, then that's the only way that he would get done for hurting me, because he was threatening me all around London. Wherever he found me, he was going to do this to me and do that. But the police said unless somebody witnesses it, I could end up killed on the street and they would not think it was him unless they saw him. So I thought, obviously he's smart. He's not going to come out in broad daylight and do that to me. So I was just scared. So I stayed away from East London for what must have been 2 years. And during that time, I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. I did know I wanted to further educate myself. So I decided that I was going to go back to school and that I was going to do something that my family and everybody that I'd been shunned from would look up and think, wow, she's done something amazing. So I thought, okay, I need to be a doctor, a solicitor or a lawyer, or I just need to just do something that everybody wants their child to do. So I said, okay, I'll be a midwife. So I went to college, and every lesson and every time I did an exam, I got a distinction. But then when I got to the final year of A-levels, I realised it's not actually what I wanted to do, because I was still living my life for other people, and because I wanted them to validate me, I wanted to do these things that I didn't actually have a love for. But what I realised that resonated within me was that I wanted to help people that were like me. That I wanted to go and speak to the youth and get involved with them and just try to help them along and help guide them. Where I went wrong, put them right. And during that time, that's when I met Brother Andrew, and I called him my turning point. Because at that point, I was down, I didn't know, I just knew that I had something inside of me and I needed to get it out, and I wasn't sure how to. And Brother Andrew actually took me on a journey, didn't you, brother? He took me to Egypt, not physically, unfortunately, not on a plane or nothing, but soon, 15 years later soon. But he actually took me on a journey where he introduced me to different people that were doing great things. So went into Kemet, and I started learning that we had such a rich and awesome history, and I started just finding myself, feeling that I was beautiful, I was important, yes. And just because this had happened to me, it didn't mean that I couldn't rise above it and go raving and brock out and shock myself, yeah? And do all these amazing things. And so he started taking me all over, and I started, speaking to a lot of young people, speaking to them about what the problems they were facing, and I found that within us as females, we all feel each other. We all have feelings, emotions. We all hurt the same way. We've gone through a lot of the same things, whether we're black, white, Asian, you name it. And so today, I'm not standing in front of you as a black woman. I'm standing in front of you as a sister, as a melanated being. And I'm telling you, it's important for us as women that we educate ourselves and we do the things that will make us more resilient, and we understand that we are empresses within our own right.
Come on.
Yes? Trust me. Yeah, and we need to walk with that, and we need to feel it, and we need to empower one another. And I don't think we do that enough within our community. I don't think I walk down the street and I smile and I say, Goddess, Empress, good morning, good afternoon. People look at me like I'm mad, you know, and I'm like, this is what we used to do in Africa. Why are we not embracing that beauty within us? We're so creative, and we're lovers, and we're people of light. We're not of darkness. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of us walk around like this, and I'm just like, no, we need to walk around and be proud of who we are. We've gone through what we've done. We've gone through what we've gone through. But at the end of that tunnel, we've become stronger, more empowered. And I want to empower all of you today to let you see that I started off there, but look where I am now. I'm amplified from head to toe. I know what's within me. I know the feminine part of me. I know I'm great, I'm beautiful. I'm all the things that Brother Andrew said I must say every single day. So my affirmations are, I am divine. I do have the right to be loved and to love and not have to worry about certain things. So now I'm just walking that path, right? Okay, so something that I've just recently found is that I'm an actual poet.
Come on.
And in 2016, I've been writing since I was 13, but I normally write about how I feel, and so I always think that with poetry it was something else. It's not about you, it's about a subject and you just write. But with me, if I don't feel it, I can't write it. So with me, I just keep all of my writings to myself, and I read one to Brother Andrew one day, and he said, oh my God, sister, that's powerful. Yeah, you're going to do this next week. Lick shut up, Babylon. Right? And so I did. And so since then, every time something I feel passionate about something, I write it. So I'm going to share a few of them, but I'm going to share one of them now with you before I introduce him. I've got 5 minutes. Okay. So remember earlier I told you that I was an angry child. This poem is entitled My Abuser, and now you will understand why I was so angry, but I never really spoke about it until today.
Wow, yes. Wow. First time, yes. Take your time, sis. Take your time.
We are here. Okay.
Alright, there we go. So it goes like this. To my abuser. Did you choose me out of many? Is often what I wonder. Did I fit that profile? Or was it my innocence that caused you to be so vile? Tell me, what did you hope to achieve by... Tell me, what did you hope to achieve by tugging at my underwear and with your hands spreading my knees? Did you not hear the cries or see the pain and the fear that was within my infant eyes? I prayed deep down in my soul for God to have his mercy.
Take your time, sis. Take your time.
While my sister's having a minute, give her a round of applause. Yeah, it's good. I'm right behind you.
I prayed deep down for God to have his mercy.
Go on, sis.
Go on, my queen. Go on, my queen.
I prayed deep down for God to have his mercy. And for years, I've suffered carrying around your guilt with me. Asking what I had did to deserve something so cruel and unkind.
Deep breath, baby. Just take a deep breath. Let it out.
As if I was the perpetrator, with no value within my body, my soul, or my mind. Often I wonder, why you chose to wake me from my peaceful slumber, giving life to nightmares and death to all of my dreams.
You're with family. You're safe.
Often I wonder why you chose to wake me from my peaceful slumber, giving life to nightmares and death to all my dreams. The memories are still so fresh, as you can see, and the feelings are surreal. Thank you, sis. Feeling so surreal. And although 25 years have passed, I've kept you safe and I've locked you and buried you and kept you in the dark without a trace. But you see, I'm fed up of carrying and bearing your lies.
Take the breath, on the breath, nice and deep. This is nice, deep, and let it out.
I'm fed up of carrying and telling your lies, walking around with a chip on my shoulder, with hatred for men buried and disguised in my big and bright eyes.
That's it. Right from deep, all the way up and out.
While she's gathering herself, I'm going to tell you that Roseanne is our Mary Seacole. Anytime there is pain, she comes with crystal and a heart that is of gold. I'm going to leave her in safe hands. Take your time.
Okay, forgotten where I finished now, so I'm gonna.
Take your time.
Okay. In my deep, bright eyes. My loneliness is caused by you. And even though I've locked you away, you still play a very significant role in my day-by-day life.
Yes.
If you feel that you know what, be in control, be in control. You can finish later, take time if you want to, but if you feel like you can continue, that's fine. You are free to do what you want.
Thank you, sis. Now I'm going to do it now because it needs to get out. And I've written this for this moment. Okay. I feel so loved. Thank you.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Okay. In my life, there's still a significant role that you play, inflicting fear subconsciously and messing with my mind mentally. And I wonder, if I could tell you all of what I was feeling now, would you be surprised? But I guess now we'll never know, because you're no longer in this world. but I'd like to tell you this, that with each passing day that I thought of you,
Come on. Yes.
so hear me well, that with each passing day that I remembered you, I wanted your soul to go straight to hell. I didn't want you to have any peace. Let your peace not be restful. I couldn't think of anything else for something so wicked. But all these thoughts are as good as sin. And by hating you even more, I'm only allowing and letting you win. So how about this? I forgive you.
Hey! Hey!
And I release you to allow me my sanity and allow me my bliss.
Ashay!
So goodbye and farewell.
Ashay!
I'm now focused on my straight and my narrow. Goodbye and farewell. And wherever you have been laid to rest, I pray that your rest will be well.
Ashay! Ashay!
Yes.
Beautiful.
As I stood behind the sister and I said to her, there is so much love in here for you.
So much. So much.
And so said, so done. And that's all I want to say. So much love. You can feel the love. You all were just giving. Just
100%.
giving to her. And from where I was, you could feel it. You got surrounded. You see me move. I had to move because it was yours.
And Sister Razan, I want to thank you for your spirit. I want to, we're a family. We're a family. I learned something today. I learn something every day, but this young lady has become my teacher today.
Wow.
She's become my teacher, okay? And I'm humble before you.
Humble.
I do. But I also offer you protection. You hear me? You see me? I don't play, I'm not skin teeth at all. Yeah? I had the family from the Nation of Islam make it clear to me that I am protected. Let me tell you, my blood's going running cold. Yeah? Nation of Islam, Rasta, Christian, everybody. There is love. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Okay? Anyone in here is your family. You can go to anyone in here and most of the people outside. This Sister Charmaine just coming. A family that man. Yeah? Right? So, thank you. You have just saved. Yeah. Before, can you get some water, please? Yes, grandbaby, you can. All right. I just want to hail up Sister Charmaine and the family in the room. I want to hail you, Rastafari, sister. I mean, these powerful sisters. But I'm going to do something unusual. I'm going to probably frighten the heck out of this lady by inviting Judith to come to the front of this room. Judith, yes, you, Judith. No, you can't. You're for crying, man. Now, yes, you can go to the toilet, but you're mad. Does anybody have a tissue? Oh, let me tell you who Judith is. Apart from a very good friend of mine, I grew up in Kilburn. I grew up with the Irish, and I have a love for this lady, right? But I am what you call an independent domestic violence advisor and an independent sexual violence advisor. I have the qualification. The body that gives that qualifications is called Safe Lives. This is one of the senior managers of Safe Lives.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. So they are a Home Office funded, supported, or they were, I don't know, but they are responsible for training in the whole of the UK. And I did some of the training, and I said to the organisation, listen, were not represented. I won't go into detail. And they said, okay, what do we need to do? And they invited me down to do some training. And as we speak, they are putting things in place to become more inclusive. And that is why Judith is here today. So, for coming today and understanding, because it's not often the organisations get to hear with our mouth. They always hear from other people's mouth. You know, you can go back and feedback. It means everything to me. And I know you've come all the way from Bristol just for today. Wow. And I thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. She's also she's responsible for a lot of things. But yeah, I am going to hand back if you're recovered. And I'm going to let the programme reign. Thank you. Yes, man, Bone Spark.
Okay, how are we all feeling? We're feeling okay?
Yes.
Okay, right. So, as I said, my mentor, he's also my lifesaver. I've probably been a pain in his backside for 15 years now, but he's like my dad, he's like my brother, he's my family, okay? So he goes around the country, and he promotes, and he does so much for our community, and he does so much for young people all around the world, I should say, because you're known in the world, brother? Yes. All right, so I'm not even going to carry on talking because he's absolutely amazing, right? And I've got so much love for him, so please, if you can all help me by introducing Brother Andrew Mohammed to the stage. Thank you.
1, 2, 1, 2. Brothers and sisters, I think we need to again give a round of applause to Lady Wisdom, man. Absolutely, sister. We didn't need anything more than that, to be honest with you. And you laid the foundation that we're all generating on. And I bow to you. I've seen you perform all over the UK in truth. You've travelled into different schools and what have you. And today, to me, was the most touching of all. Most touching of all. So we're gonna, I see something being picked up just then. Fantastic. So, brothers and sisters, time is on us, and it's really great just to be alive. So my name is Andrew Mohammed. They call me Guan Papa G, or the Investigator. And as we start the proceedings today, we're gonna have some fun, but it's gonna be thoughtful at the same time. We've got some great people that's in the audience. Sister, you spent time breaking down some great, it's a small audience, but we've got so much power and quality amongst us. And we know that Sister Ankara was the sister that came and gave some wisdom about the chess. This is one of my teachers herself. We worked together, I can't remember how many years ago. We was doing workshops together for the Institute of Education under, what was the program called? Investing in Diversity. And we was training up, it was a fast teachers, to become head teachers and senior leaders. So we worked on that for many years together, and she's absolutely awesome. And as you saw come through the door was Black History Studies, Sister Charmaine, one of the heads there. So just make some noise there. As I said, we've got a small